Hello, everybody. This is CJ Wiley with More Adventures on the Road. I'm up here in Iowa. Got my mountain bike in the back in case you hear a few rattles. It's a little bit of a bumpy road. I'm going out to a pretty cool mountain bike trail up here in a little bit south of Des Moines, Iowa. So it's a beautiful day. I want to tell you about an adventure I had recently. I'm not a pool hustler anymore. I did that for a number of years, and I was just fascinated with the mental mind control part of it, and hung around some of the greatest ones that they could do things that I didn't quite understand. A few of them were just amazing at how well they could get people to gamble, and that's a art form in itself, just getting them to play. And that's generally what they would do with me is they would match up my games and just tell me to go over and just not look at them. They said I had a little bit too much killer instinct at the time, and people could pick up on it. So this last time I was with a friend, and he wanted to go to a spot and see if we could get some action. And I told him, the chances of somebody not knowing me are very, very rare in this day and age. Even the little bitty pool rooms I go into in the middle of the country. I remember I was one in Arkansas, and not only did one person know me, but 4 people knew me in this little pool room, and I would have never dreamed it. But, that's a lot to do with modern technology. But anyway, we went over to this place, and I told him, I said, listen, I'll do it, but I'm going to have to get them to ask me to play, and I'm going to tell them the truth about everything as far as answering questions. So I'm not going to give them an alias. I'm not going to tell them I'm from a town that I'm not from or anything like that. So he agreed, and we went over, and as we were pulling up, we saw the guy that we came to play already in action, playing somebody else on the first table. So we just went in and got a table right next to him and started playing among ourselves. And it was funny because he wanted to smoke a cigarette. We went outside, out back, and there was a attractive female who ended up being the fiance of the first guy I played. And she was catching little buzz, but she was very inquisitive, and I wouldn't give her any direct answers. Like I said, I wasn't going to lie, but that doesn't mean I have to answer the question either. You can always say, I prefer not to answer that. A lot of people don't realize that, but, you have that option always. But anyway, she was like, how good do you play? And I just said, I'm the best. And she said, how good is that? And I said, well, the best is the best. I don't know. What do you think? And she says, well, what kind of rating do you have? Like amateur rating? And I was like, I never played in a league, so I don't have a rating, which just puzzled her. And then she ended up asking me where I was from, and I kind of gave her a couple different answers just in fun, like heaven was one of them. And then I said I was from Green City, Missouri, which I am from Green City, Missouri. Northern Missouri, population of 629, and everybody knows that that's studied up on me at all. And then, of course, I ended up having to tell them my name, which is Carson. Carson J. Wiley. The J is just an initial, doesn't stand for anything. In case anybody ever wants to bet you, it's not James or Jim or Joshua or anything like that. It's just the initial J, so they can call me CJ. I've always been called CJ, but there's a few people that still call me Carson around the country, and it's just, if somebody knows me real well, that's cool. If they don't, I kind of shy away from that. But so I told her my name was Carson. So anyway, I played the second best player there, and we play some $200 sets, and I beat him 2 sets, and then was thinking about not playing the next one, and I told him I'd play him on the table next to us, which was a 9-foot table. We were playing on a bar table. So he says, I don't know if I should. He says, but I really think I can beat you. I said, yeah, you may be able to, unless I'm the world's greatest pool hustler. And he laughed, and I laughed, and that gave him the incentive to get up and play again, and I won that set. Then the other guy was playing my friend. They ended up breaking even, and I played him a race to 25 for 2,000. And about halfway through it, I think he could tell something was wrong, and he started getting on my friend, who was a local around there. I mean, he was about an hour away, but he had been around him before, but my friend didn't lie to him either, so he really didn't have anywhere to go. He challenged us. When they came out to ask us to play, they made a point to say, we don't care if you're road players. If you're looking for action, we'll both play you. So that's how it all started. I didn't ask them to play, and they said they didn't care if we were road players. So if that's not the green light, I don't know what is. Anyway, I end up winning the set for 2,000. I go over there now. He says he's going to write me a check. So he says, you better have given me the right name. And I said, I did. So he's like, so what's your last name? And I said, Wiley. And the other guy's standing there, and he said, like CJ Wiley? And I said, yeah, pretty close. He says, do you know him? And I looked at him. I said, yeah, he's my little whipping boy. And then the other guy was like, oh, my God, you are CJ Wiley. And I was like, yeah, my real name's Carson, though. I said, I told you what my name was. You said you didn't mind if we were road players. I am from Green City, Missouri. I said, here we are. And I'm pretty much ready to do whatever it takes at that time. It doesn't matter to me. I've been in way worse spots with way worse people. So, but what happened after that was kind of funny and a pleasant surprise, because, man, they both like lit up, and they were like, man, that's so cool. And they wanted to go buy me drinks, and the guy even played me a couple more sets. I gave him 2 games going to 7, and the break on the bar table, and he just had a good time. And then after it was over, invited us to go to breakfast, which we did. That's pretty unusual, but it gave him a story, and he's a big gambler. He's used to winning and losing, so it was no big deal to him, the money he lost. But he's definitely got an adventure on the road story. And maybe he'll see this one of these days. And I just want to say to both of those gentlemen that, man, they were as professional as you can get, and I really appreciated having the opportunity to gamble with them. And, it just worked out the way it did. So I think everybody ended up happy, and I got to play finally. I hadn't played any this whole year, except maybe a couple small matches down in New Orleans. But when people find out who I am, and, I go around teaching, so I don't really try to get action. But it did bring back some memories, and that's fun every once in a while, but that's just not my thing. I want to help people with their games and help them win money. And I've helped people with even more sophisticated hustles than pool. I saved one guy who was a businessman and a friend of mine. I told him one of his right-hand men were embezzling from him, and he didn't believe me, of course, and it kind of hurt our friendship for a little while. And then 3 months later, he sent me an email calling me Nostradamus. He caught the guy embezzling over $180,000 from him. So, but I know those things because I've been around. I've been in the bar business for over 20 years. I was a pool hustler for like 16 years. So, and then playing on the pro circuit, all the studying in neurolinguistic programming and hypnosis and everything. I've just had a kind of an obsession to learn more and more about the mind and how it's controlled and how it works subconsciously, consciously, especially, like hypnosis. And And this is a good time to understand that stuff. We're all under some pretty severe hypnotic attacks these days, especially if you watch the TV and the news, especially. It's something you better beware of, is all I can say. If you want to learn more about my techniques, systems, and the championship level fundamentals that I use and teach people, you can reach me at cjwiley@cjwiley.com or my website, www.cjwiley.com or masteringpocketbilliards.com. Anyway, hope you're enjoying yourself, and I will talk with you soon.